Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trinity Ball Yard on the campus of Trinity Baptist College for today's matchup between the University of Fort Lauderdale Eagles and your Trinity Baptist College Eagles. If everyone would please rise and remove your caps as we start off today with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for the day that you've given us, and thank you for the weather allowing us to play baseball today. Lord, I ask that you keep everybody safe on the field and keep us safe as we travel out of here, God. In your name we pray. Amen. Now the starting lineup for the visiting University of Fort Lauderdale Eagles. Batting first, the center fielder, number 3, Wilbert Vargas. Batting second, the left fielder, number 14, Eric Scott. Batting third, the second baseman, number 2, Aderlin Cubaletti. Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 0, Ryan Reifenberg. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 20, Yankiel Gonzalez. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 19, Josh Tibbs. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 36, Eli Wilhelm. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 21, Brandon Riera. And batting ninth, the third baseman, number 12, Chris Martin. And the pitcher, number 41, Chase Muir. And now the starting lineup for your Trinity Baptist College Eagles. Batting first, the second baseman, number 4, Sammy Coffrin. Batting second, the catcher, number 14, Ryan Ongst. Batting third, the third baseman, number 2, Josh Wharton. Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 13, E.J. Alvarez. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 10, Parker Laffrey. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 6, Colby Kennedy. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 24, Darren Goki. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 20, R.J. Falco. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 1, Brandon Huang. And the pitcher for the Eagles tonight, number 5, Will Van Sickle. And now, if everyone will please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Trinity Ball Yard on the campus of Trinity Baptist College for exciting NCCAA South Region Baseball between the Eagles of Trinity Baptist College and the Eagles of the University of Fort Lauderdale. Hello again, everybody. I'm Ray Bureau, and you're watching TBC Eagles baseball on the TBC Eagles Sports Network. Thank you, Mike Davis, for bringing us our starting lineups, opening prayer, and player introductions. And on the mound, you see TBC's Will Van Sickle, who got a complete game victory over Florida Palms University, or check that, Voorhees College last Saturday. It was Michael Cardenas who got a complete game shutout against Florida Palms last Friday night. Will Van Sickle now 1-4 on the season. His record doesn't indicate how well he's thrown the ball, a 3.94 earned run average. And the senior from Jacksonville's Paxson High School will take on the number 10 team in the entire NCCAA, and that is the Eagles of Fort Lauderdale. Van Sickle finishing up his warm-up tosses. The defensive alignment for TBC, Brandon Huang is in left, Parker Laffery in center, E.J. Alvarez is in right. And around the infield, Josh Wharton plays third base. The shortstop is Colby Kennedy. Sammy Coffrin is at second, and Darren Goki will play first with Van Sickle pitching. And Ryan Ongst, red hot Ryan Ongst, is behind the plate. Red hot Parker Laffery also in the TBC Eagles lineup. Will Van Sickle 1-4, 3.94 earned run average. This will be his 10th appearance overall and 7th start. He has the one complete game that he got against Voorhees last Saturday. He's also earned a save in relief. In 29 2/3 innings, Van Sickle has allowed 32 hits, 19 runs, but only 13 of those are earned. He has walked 12 and struck out 32. First batter of the game will be center fielder Wilbert Jair Vargas. Leading things off for Fort Lauderdale, and the first pitch from Van Sickle misses low and outside, and the ball game is underway. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch on the way is pulled foul towards Trinity's dugout, and the count is 1-1. Javier Vargas is hitting .336 this season, 2 home runs, 19 runs batted in. As a team, Fort Lauderdale has homered 15 times and driven in 201 runs. And that one is fouled out of play. The head coach of Fort Lauderdale is Mr. Billy Glessner. He's assisted by Joe Adair, Justin Malden, and Billy Reinhart. And the SID of Fort Lauderdale, Mr. Eli Sirota. Ball down low, and the count is even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fort Lauderdale has won their last 10 ball games. I'll tell you a little bit more as we get opportunities, but a 10-game winning streak. And Vargas is able to make contact and stay alive. And Fort Lauderdale has a record of 20-13 overall, 6-3 in South Region competition. Trinity Baptist 9-15 overall, having won their last 3 and 4 of their last 5. The 2-2 is a lifted high into right field. Alvarez coming on but won't get there in time. And a leadoff bloop single for Vargas. And Fort Lauderdale has a runner at first with nobody out. The only South Region team that TBC has played so far is Fort Lauderdale, the opening series down south. And Fort Lauderdale won all 3 of those very close, tight ball games. Trinity Baptist played very well in that series, but Fort Lauderdale, the defending national runner-up in the NCCAA National Tournament last year, was able to hold on with most of their players returning and win all 3 of those games. Fort Lauderdale was the South Region runner-up, got the national invitation, and ended up the runner-up of the national tournament as well. Throw over to first, and a runner's back just in time. Van Sickle had himself a pickoff in last Saturday's win. Cardenas picked off 2 Florida Palms University Owls in his shutout win last Friday night. Again, Van Sickle throws to first. It is close, but Vargas is back. Eric Scott, the left fielder, is at the plate for Fort Lauderdale. And he takes the pitch for a strike, and a count 1 ball, 1 strike. Eric Scott's hitting .354, no homers, 17 RBIs. Vargas is a base stealer, 13 for 15. And Van Sickle, a good fastball in the outer half of the plate, gets ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The wind is blowing in pretty briskly from right field at about 16 miles per hour. The 1-2 and a throw over again and another close play. Javier Vargas not that far off the bag, but now he opens up his lead just a little bit more, having seen Van Sickles move. And the fastball misses up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A bloop single got things started for Fort Lauderdale. Have to remember, don't just say the Eagles, because that's the name of both teams tonight. Throw over to first, and if that ball had been down a little bit more, Van Sickle might have picked off the runner. He's showing Javier Vargas his best moves. Checks over the back shoulder and delivers. And a swing and a foul back. Scott able to make contact. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Van Sickle allowed only a few hits against Voorhees last week. And just 1 run. And the pitch. Line drive into right at Alvarez. Has a chance, but holds on to the ball as Javier Vargas was able to dive back into the base. Alvarez had thoughts of trying to get the double play. Thought better of it. Held on to the ball. It would have been a very close play. Not likely to have gotten him. So Alvarez makes sure he gets the sure out. So L9 in the book. 1 away. Second baseman Adeline Kubaletti steps in for Fort Lauderdale. Sitting .432, 1 homer and 28 runs driven in. And a pitch, a high pop-up. That will get out of play. Fort Lauderdale has played 33 ball games, won 20 of them. Again, they've won their last 10 in a row, and that's following a stretch where they lost 6 straight. Well, 6 out of 7, that is. And the 0-1. And this one is up high. During that 10-game winning streak, Fort Lauderdale swept Mid-Atlantic Christian by scores of 21-5, 24-5, and 24-15. They put 69 runs on the board in that 3-game series. They also defeated Florida National University 16-1, and then a 3-game sweep of the South Region's Bob Jones University. Those are the last 3 games, or actually 3 of the last 4 games played, 6-0, 7-5, and 9-2. The last 2 games were 18-5 over Florida Memorial and 3-0 in 5 innings against Florida National. That game got called off by rain in the 6th. Meanwhile, Van Sickle has worked the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 24 runs twice in that 3-game series against Mid-Atlantic. That is a team record. It's only their 2nd year of baseball, but they have been absolutely phenomenal. They won 4 of 6 meetings against Trinity Baptist last season and have won the first 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and that one is fouled off. During one of those 2 games in which Fort Lauderdale scored 24 against Mid-Atlantic Christian, they got 25 hits, 7 doubles, 4 home runs, and pitching struck out 20 batters. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first, runner's on the move. Onks throws down to second, but that is ball 4. The throw would have had the runner, but he heard ball 4 and slowed up a little bit, but an excellent throw nullified by the base on balls. So Javier Vargas is at second. Kubaletti is at first. 1 out, and the right fielder Ryan Reifenberg is at the plate. Reifenberg wearing number 0, and he's batting .415, 1 homer, 27 runs driven in, and he has a man in scoring position with very good speed. And Sickles' first pitch is a fastball a little bit up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Fort Lauderdale is the current number 10 team in the NCCAA. That's in the entire nation. The 1-0. A breaking ball misses low and inside. They have had 2 NCCAA Player of the Week nods. Adeline Kubaletti garnering an Offensive Player of the Week, and tonight's starter Chase Muir got a Pitcher of the Week nod earlier this season. Thank you to Eli Sirota, the Sports Information Director, for passing along this information. That 20-batter strikeout, Muir did that against Bob Jones, not Mid-Atlantic Christian. The 2-1. And that's in there for a strike. And the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tonight's game is only the second true road game away from their home field for Fort Lauderdale that they played in March. They went to Florida Memorial. And that one is a rip down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Javier Vargas will score. Kubaletti will round third. He will come on in. The throw will be cut off. And Fort Lauderdale has a 2-0 lead thanks to the 2-run double by Ryan Reifenberg. And that ball right down the line. So the leadoff bloop single just out of the reach of Alvarez. And then the free pass comes in to score. And this very high-powered offense is on the board with 1 out in the first inning. And Reifenberg now at second base. RBIs 28 and 29 for Ryan Reifenberg. And the umpires are going to talk things over. Not sure what they're going to talk about. Maybe if the ball was fair or foul, because it gets down in that corner. And now the home plate umpire is having a conference with Coach Glessner. So we'll keep it right here. If everything stands, it's a 2-run double for Ryan Reifenberg. He's still standing on the second base bag. Everybody's staying in his place. So again, I'm not sure. Now Kubaletti is being called out of the dugout. He's going to trot back to third base. So that'll take the second run off the board. Of course, Fort Lauderdale will try to get that in and make that a 1 RBI double for Ryan Reifenberg with Wilbert Javier Vargas scoring. I didn't catch why they sent Kubaletti back to third base, but he's there now with 2 men in scoring position. The first pitch to Yanquiel Gonzalez is fouled off. Gonzalez is hitting .358, 4 homers, 25 runs driven in, and he has 2 men in scoring position. And a pitch, a breaking ball, stays up a little too long, and 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1-0 is the score. Our online scoreboard has quit working. We're going to keep trying to work on that, but it won't be available tonight or likely tomorrow either. The 1-1, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. With every half inning, I'll try to put the score here in the top chat so you're able to see what's been going on. A ball and 2 strikes. Van Sickle delivers. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 3. First strikeout for Will Van Sickle, and now a chance to get out of the inning with just the 1-run scoring. Again, I do not know why Kubaletti was called back and put back on third base. Josh Tibbs, the first baseman, next hitter for Fort Lauderdale. .327 is the batting average, 5 home runs, 25 runs driven in. He leads Fort Lauderdale in long balls with 5. Van Sickle from the stretch. There's a chopper that eats up Colby Kennedy. The run will score. Another man around second. Throw to the plate is not in time, and that ball took a major hop on Colby Kennedy. Going to have to take another look at that one and see what happened on that play. That ball was hit so hard we weren't able to get the camera to it in time. That one took a very funny hop. That's going to go as a base hit. 2-run single for Josh Tibbs, and Fort Lauderdale leads 3-0. And the first pitch from Van Sickle in there for a strike. From the stretch, swung on and fouled back. This is Eli Wilhelm. Give you the numbers on Eli in just a moment. Wilhelm batting .455. 2 runs driven in, limited opportunities, and he swings and fouls this one off. He is 5 for 11 on the season. One of those 5 hits a double. He is driven in 2. He has a runner at first with 2 outs. 3 runs are in. And Van Sickle from the stretch and delivers. Swing and a miss. A high fastball that Wilhelm chased out of the zone. And that ends the inning. However, for the Fort Lauderdale Eagles, 3 runs on 2 hits and a walk. And we go to the bottom of the first. 3-0 Fort Lauderdale. We'll keep it here and we'll give you the Trinity Baptist College batting order. Leading things off will be Sammy Coffrin. He's playing second base. Batting second is the catcher Ryan Ongst. Batting third will be the third baseman Josh Wharton. Middle third of the batting order, the cleanup man is right fielder E.J. Alvarez. In left field is Parker Laffery. Colby Kennedy is at shortstop. He's batting sixth. Batting seventh is the first baseman Darren Goki. Designated hitter is R.J. Falco. He's batting eighth. And Brandon Huang is in left field. He is batting ninth. That was scored a base hit. That ball that bounced took a very sharp high bounce right over the head of Colby Kennedy. And defensively for Fort Lauderdale, in left field will be Eric Scott. Center field, Wilbert Javier Vargas, and right fielder is Ryan Reifenberg. Around the infield, Chris Martin is at third base. Yankiel Gonzalez is at short. Adeline Kubaletti plays second base. Josh Tibbs is at first, and Brandon Riera is the catcher. He will be catching Chase Muir, who, as we told you a moment ago, got a pitcher of the week in the NCCAA earlier this season. Muir is 1-2 on the season, a 3.42 earned run average. This is his 8th appearance overall and 5th start. He also has a save in relief. In 22 2/3 innings, Muir has allowed 15 hits, 14 runs, 9 of those earned. He has walked 10 and struck out 41 men in 23 2/3 innings. He has allowed a home run and a couple of doubles, but that is a fantastic strikeout rate. 41 in 23 2/3 innings. That is getting close to 2 strikeouts per inning. He will face Sammy Coffrin, Ryan Ongst, and Josh Wharton to start things off for Trinity Baptist in the bottom of the first as TBC comes to bat, trailing 3-0. A bloop single, a walk, and then that very funny hop that allowed all 3 runs to score, led to those runs. There was also an RBI double from Ryan Reifenberg right down the line. Well, Coffrin steps in, hitting .333, no homers, 8 runs driven in. He's also walked 6 times and scored 15. So TBC will start to try to rally from behind, facing Chase Muir. And the big right-hander. His first pitch is a fastball, a little bit inside. Chase Muir, a sophomore from Henrico, Virginia. Very big man standing out there on the mound and gets the fastball right by Sammy Coffrin. Chase Muir is 6 feet 4 inches tall, a transfer student from the University of New Orleans. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coffrin at the plate, and the pitch is up behind the hitter, and that's 2 balls and a strike. TBC softball last night played Florida State College at Jacksonville. FSCJ won both games, but Morgan Wells hit her first college home run, and I had the pleasure of calling that home run, and she hit that ball a very long way, a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 4th of Game 2. 3 balls and a strike, and ball 4 is upstairs, and TBC has its first base runner via the base on balls. Brings up catcher Ryan Ongst. As we said earlier, Rhino has been red hot. .492 this season. No homers and 11 runs driven in. Runner at first, Sammy Coffrin. 2 for 5 in stolen base attempts. Modest lead, and the first pitch to Ongst. A good fastball at the knees for strike 1. Ryan Ongst and Parker Laffery have really hit the ball very well throughout the month of March. 0-1. Muir from the stretch, and there's a fastball right down the middle. Ongst, a junior from here in Jacksonville. Mandarin High School is where he played his ball. Left-hand hitter, right-handed throwing catcher. And the pitch, and that one got a piece of Ongst, and he's going to trot on down to first. And Trinity Baptist has 2 men on with nobody out. And Dylan Owens will very likely come out of the dugout, and there he is, wearing number 3, to run for the catcher. NCCAA and NAIA do allow courtesy runners for the catcher and the pitcher. Get up into the higher levels, that's a no-no. Well, TBC has a potential tying run at the plate in Josh Wharton. .319 is the batting average for Wharton, 9 runs driven in. TBC has 1 home run this season. That was from E.J. Alvarez a couple of weeks ago right here on this field. And ball 1 is outside to Wharton. One ball, no strikes. Muir checks Coffrin, not being held at second. And the pitch. There's a ground ball into center field, a base hit. Coffrin is going to hold up there and didn't see that the center fielder bobbled the ball. Of course, TBC and all of us here watching those outfielders during warm-up, you don't want to take too many chances with the laser beams they can throw. Coffrin had held up. Javier Vargas bobbled the ball, but by the time Coffrin and Coach Broden noticed, Vargas had gotten hold of the ball and was ready to fire home. But that is a base hit, and Josh Wharton is aboard. The first hit for the Eagles, TBC Eagles, that is. Ryan Ongst's courtesy runner, Dylan Owens, is at second base. And Sammy Coffrin is at third with nobody out for E.J. Alvarez. And now we have a conference on the mound. A walk, a hit batsman, then a solid base hit up the middle. Coach Glessner using his first mound visit with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the first. Trinity Baptist, again, winners of their last 3. Doubleheader sweep against Florida Palms, 9-7 and 1-0 last Friday. 6-1 against Voorhees College. That's after splitting a doubleheader with Florida Palms on March 15th. 5-1 win, 3-0 loss. First pitch to Alvarez, and that one is behind the hitter, and that's ball 1. And already Fort Lauderdale has action in the bullpen. One ball, no strikes. And a pitch to Alvarez. He was all over the top of that slow curveball. It came up way empty. So the count of 1-1. Muir from the stretch with the bases loaded. Spins one inside, and Alvarez is ahead 2-1. TBC shouting encouragement to their teammate at the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Ball 3 is upstairs, nowhere to put the batter. Alvarez probably going to be very patient and look for one that he really wants to drive. 3 balls and a strike. And Alvarez swings away but fouls this one back. Last year, Fort Lauderdale's first season of baseball, 35-27. They played a whole lot of ball games, 62 of them. They were 3-2 in the NCCAA World Series and finished as the runner-up. And the pitch. There's a ground ball pulled foul, and the count remains 3-2. In the South Region tournament last year, Fort Lauderdale defeated Payne College, Southeastern Baptist, and Toccoa Falls, and then fell to Carolina University in the title game. Again, got to the national championship game, but fell to Concordia, Michigan. Also an NAIA program is Concordia. Another payoff pitch to Alvarez, and he just makes contact right off the very end of the bat, and he's able to stay up there for at least one more. Alvarez is at 267, one homer, 15 RBIs. Trying to get at least one home, possibly two. And another payoff pitch. Strike three called, and Alvarez knew it, and that's out number one. Good pitch right over the outer half of the plate. And now Parker Lafferty will bring his red-hot bat up to the plate and try to drive in a couple of runs. Lafferty has really turned it on. He's gotten himself multiple three-run doubles, and he has the bases loaded right now. 342 with 13 RBIs. Parker Lafferty. And the first pitch from Muirs, a breaking ball in there for a strike, and a good pitch. Lafferty up there looking for the heater. So one strike on Lafferty. And another bender gets in the zone for strike two. Lafferty thought that one was a little high and tight, but that ball broke down at the last instant. So Muir ahead in the count, 0-2, and misses low for ball one. Great start to the inning for TBC. A walk, a hit batsman, and a base hit. But then Muir was able to get the strikeout, and now facing Lafferty ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Muir from the stretch, and the pitch. That one is driven into left field. That's a base hit. Coffrin will score. Owens will stop at third as that ball was picked up just a little bit past the infield dirt, but TBC is on the board. RBI single for Parker Lafferty, and it's 3-1. Eric Scott right on top of the ball and just a few feet behind the infield dirt. So Dylan Owens wisely held up at third base. 1 out, Colby Kennedy, the shortstop at the plate. He's hitting 140, and he has driven in 3. Muir's first pitch and a high pop-up. That's going to slice out of play. And that is strike 1. Kennedy has turned it on of late. He was under 100 for most of the season. Had himself a couple of really good games last weekend against Florida Palms and Voorhees. 0-1 and a pitch. That one is up and in to even the count at a ball and a strike. 4 runs have already scored, and we're still batting with 1 out in the bottom of the first. 3-1, Fort Lauderdale leads. And that one got the inner half of the plate. That's a ball and 2 strikes. Wind has calmed down a little bit, but still blowing pretty well in from right. And the 1-2 to Kennedy is inside. That's ball 2. Riera tried to do a nice frame job, but the umpire didn't fall for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, bases loaded, 1 run is in. And Muir with the pitch, hits the batter. Kennedy hit by the pitch, and that'll force home a run, and it's 3-2. Eagles have 2 hits in the inning and 2 runs. They've also been hit twice and drawn a walk. Wharton to third as Dylan Owens scores. Parker Lafferty to second. Kennedy aboard at first, and first baseman Darren Goki is at the plate. Goki has had some chances to swing the bat of late. He's hitting .250, 5 for 20 with 3 RBIs. And he tried to hold up on an outside pitch, but went around, and that's strike 1. Goki does a lot of pitching for Coach John Copeland, but again, with a few injuries to the roster, Goki a chance to swing the bat and play first base. No balls and a strike. He took a good rip and fouled this one off. So Goki down in the count, 0-2. 1 out, middle infield, playing back to turn 2 to try to get out of the inning. Corner infielders are even with the bags. No balls, 2 strikes, and Goki chases one in the dirt. And that is strike 3. Of course, with the bases loaded and 1 out, no chance to run for the batter. All base runners can do what they want at their own risk. Now there are 2 outs, and R.J. Falco's at the plate. He's a designated hitter. On the season, R.J. is 2 for 5 with an RBI. He's also drawn a walk. Chance for him to drive home a run, possibly tie up the game. He takes the first pitch outside. Falco worked his way into the starting lineup last weekend and made Coach Copeland proud. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch. And that one is outside for ball 2. Falco does have a good eye. He doesn't chase too many balls out of the zone. Now he's ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Left-handed hitter, left-handed thrower from the Mandarin section of Jacksonville, Duval Charter High School. 2 balls, no strikes, and he takes a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Not the pitch he wanted, so he let it go. A base hit to the outfield would very likely tie up the ball game. Lafferty is at second. He runs well. Here's a 2-1. And an off-speed pitch caught the inside corner. And the count is even at 2-2, and Chase Muir a chance to get out of this inning with just 1 run scored. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 3 and out 3. So Muir got himself into trouble, allowed a run to score, but then struck out 2. He got all 3 outs via the strikeout, and after 1, it's Fort Lauderdale 3, Trinity Baptist 2. (3-2) Fort Lauderdale after 1 inning, and Will Van Sickle getting ready to start inning number 2. He allowed 3 earned runs in the first. Couple of hits. He did walk 1 man as well. And he will face 8, 9, and 1, Brandon Riera, Chris Martin, and Wilbert Javier Vargas. Trinity, though, came back with 2 in the bottom half. Parker Lafferty got himself an RBI single. Colby Kennedy hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, so he gets an RBI as well. Van Sickle's first pitch, and Riera fouls this one straight back. Brandon Riera is hitting .228. He has no homers and 5 RBIs, and he lifts one high towards right, toward the line. Alvarez on the run, makes the catch just inside fair territory. That ball just kept on slicing away, but Alvarez stayed with it and made the play on the run. So 1 out for the third baseman, Chris Martin. He's hitting .339, no homers, 11 runs driven in, but he's also scored 15 runs. So when he gets on base, he tends to come all the way around. Of course, a lot of these Fort Lauderdale Eagles do. They score a lot of runs. And the first pitch, fastball, misses upstairs. 20 wins, 13 losses, 6-3 in South Region play. Their 3 losses all came to Warner University, who is also a member of the NAIA Sun Conference. Every year, one of the very best in the entire nation. And Van Sickle's pitch misses inside. That's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. And Van Sickle misses high for ball 3. We started the ball game at about 80 degrees with a 0% chance of rain in the forecast. Van Sickle gets this one in the zone, and it's 3-1. And looking at the forecast, we should finish tonight's game at around 70 degrees with about a 5% chance of rain. Here's a 3-1, and this one is fouled back. Tomorrow, 30% chance of rain in the forecast, otherwise very pleasant, high 70s to low 80s. And we're starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Here's a 3-2 and a foul ball. Martin makes contact and stays alive. So tomorrow's doubleheader has moved to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Van Sickle's payoff pitch is fouled off once again. Martin was right on it but pulled his head, and that may have caused him to miss driving that ball. So Van Sickle from the stretch, ready for another payoff, and a 3-2. Strike 3 called. Martin thought it was ball 4, took a few steps toward first, and now takes a right turn toward the dugout. Strikeout number 3 for Van Sickle. He gets the first 2 men, and now he'll face the top of the order, Wilbert Javier Vargas, who started the ball game with that bloop single into right and scored the first run. Remember, we had that strange call of Kubaletti coming back to third base after he had scored, and I never did find out why, but he ended up scoring anyway. Run number 2. And then Fort Lauderdale tacked on a third run a little bit later in the inning. 1 ball, no strikes, and Vargas pops this one up, and that's going to slice out of play. Goki gave it a look, but he ran out of real estate. So the count's 1-1. Wind is starting to pick back up. It's blowing in from right field. Going to be tough to pull one for the left-handed hitter. There's a line drive. That one's headed toward the gap. Wind's not going to hold that one up because it's up against the fence. Here's Vargas around second. He's going to come on into third with a 2-out triple and get there standing up without a throw. So Wilbert Javier Vargas now halfway to the cycle. He has the single and the triple. That's hit number 3 for Fort Lauderdale. And it brings up Eric Scott, who lined out pretty sharply to Alvarez and right his first time up. "3-2 Fort Lauderdale leads, 2 outs in the top of the second. 9-inning game here tonight, 2 sevens tomorrow. Van Sickle's first pitch on the inside corner. He gets the call for strike 1. There are 2 outs. Van Sickle will just worry about the runner. Josh Wharton at third base having to shade his eyes from the setting sun. And that pitch is low. Brandon Huang in left field having to face the same situation. A ball and a strike. And Sickle's pitch is a curveball in there for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes. Van Sickle trying to get out of the inning, keep that runner at third. And 1-2 is upstairs. That's ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Van Sickle delivers and gets him swinging on a slow changeup. And that ball had a lot of dip to it. Van Sickle gets 2 in the inning. Strands Vargas at third after the triple. And we go to the bottom of the second. Fort Lauderdale 3, Trinity Baptist 2. Great pitch by Will Van Sickle to end that third inning. Took a lot off the changeup, and that ball just had a whole lot of sink to it. And Eric Scott was well out in front and over the top. And now TBC trailing 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the second. Brandon Huang leads things off. He's hitting .115 with an RBI this season. And the first pitch from Muir is driven high and deep towards left. This ball's got a chance. It is caught up against the fence. That is Eric Scott. Did he hold on as he crashed into the wall? Huang is looking to make sure. He's still standing on second base, but he is out. That ball looked like it was going to get over the 320 sign, but it didn't, and Eric Scott made a fantastic running catch, crashed into the wall right as he caught the ball and held on. One of the defensive plays of the year. Huang getting a lot of congratulations for the swing he put on that ball, and now the attention is down the line to make sure Scott is all right. He shakes off everybody, grabs his cap, and he doesn't even want the coach to come out to take a look. What a fantastic play by Eric Scott down the left field line. Robbing Huang of certain double, possibly 3 if that ball hits the fence and bounces away. For a moment, it looked like that ball was going to get down. The wind is blowing in. Didn't have a lot of effect according to the direction. But Eric Scott made an absolutely fantastic catch that should be on SportsCenter if we had that capability. And that pitch is up and over the head of Coffrin, who walked and scored the first TBC run in the first inning, leading off the ball game. So 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch. And Coffrin brought a 3-iron up for that one and missed it by a wide margin. So he's down. No balls, 2 strikes. Or actually 1 ball, 1 strike. My fault. And the 1-1. And a good swing, but a foul ball. Hey, nice catch by Coach Glessner over there in the Fort Lauderdale dugout off the net. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out after an absolutely fantastic running catch in left field. And the 1-2. There's a chopper towards second. That should be an easy play for Cubaletti, and he makes the throw to first for out number 2. So 2 outs, base is empty, and Ryan Ongst at the plate. Hit by a pitch, and Dylan Owens, a courtesy runner, ended up scoring the second Trinity run. Eric Scott still walking around in left field while he has an opportunity, waiting for Ongst to get in the plate. He hit that wall very hard, held on to the ball, but he took a pounding as he hit not just the wall, but he hit the 320 sign, the metal plate, holding that number on the fence. The first pitch to Ongst is a fastball up and away. So I'm sure that the coaching staff will want to take a closer look at Scott when he comes into the dugout at the end of the inning. He didn't want anyone to come out to check on him. Here's a 1-0, and Ongst takes that one at the knees for strike 1. Hey, let us know you're watching. Drop us a comment. I love seeing names pop up on the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris Muir winds and delivers and misses low for ball 2. Welcome to our Fort Lauderdale fans viewing us here on the TBC Eagles Sports Network. And as always, thank you, Trinity Baptist fans, for tuning in every time. 2 balls and a strike. And a pitch to Ongst. And that one misses upstairs for ball 3. We do plan to bring both games tomorrow. Again, the time has moved to 11 a.m. in case you haven't heard yet. 3-1 to Ryan Ongst. 2 outs, base is empty, and Muir winds and delivers and misses outside for ball 4. So Ongst aboard twice without an official at bat, and that's walk number 2 allowed by Chase Muir. Dylan Owens will grab his helmet and head on out to first base and let Ryan Onks get the gear on. And Josh Wharton will step up to the plate. He singled in the first, got as far as third base. Muir was able to get 2 strikeouts after TBC had scored a couple of runs, still had the bases loaded. Wharton 1 for 1. Drilled one right up the middle his first time up. Started to flinch at a ball down low and held up in time. So 1 ball, no strikes. And Wharton digs in. Muir from the stretch with the runner at first. And the pitch. And a breaking ball in there for a strike. Dylan Owens getting a pretty good lead off first base. And Muir's taking his time, and Owens keeps inching a little further off the bag. There's a 1-1, good secondary lead. In fact, Riera came up ready to fire, but Owens was able to get back in time. Pitch was outside, that's ball 2. Great to see Major League Baseball back in action yesterday. My Cubbies and my Yankees both won ball game number 1. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch, a breaking ball lifted high right on the infield dirt. And Gonzalez will put it away to end the inning. A 2-out walk, but nothing else. And after 2, Fort Lauderdale 3, Trinity Baptist 2. Top of the third, and Kubaletti will lead things off, followed by Reifenberg and Gonzalez. 3, 4, and 5 in the batting order. Van Sickle's first pitch, and that one's a little bit outside. Kubaletti walked and scored in the first inning, so no official at bat. And the 1-0 on the way, and a high fly ball, pretty well hit to right, but he got under it a little bit, and Alvarez is there to make the catch. Van Sickle, a little bit of a rough start, but he's settled down. Hasn't allowed a run since the first inning. And with 1 out, Ryan Reifenberg at the plate, and he got the RBI double in the first. That drove in the first run, and a high pop-up right behind the infield dirt. That ball's going to be caught by Coffrin, who almost collided with Goki, and Alvarez was also coming in. Coffrin able to reach out and make the one-handed catch. And 3 pitches, 2 outs for Will Van Sickle. Lights are on. They're not really taking that much effect just yet. Yanquiel Gonzalez at the plate. He went down on strikes his first time. And Sickle working quickly, and the first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. So Van Sickle got 2 outs on 3 pitches. And now the 1-0 is a little bit high for ball 2. Gonzalez came in at 358. Now he's ahead in the count. 3 balls, no strikes. And Van Sickle again working quickly, and he gets the pitch in the zone, and it's 3-1. Gonzalez, a sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada. Transfer from Jackson State Community College, takes ball 4. He's aboard with 2 outs. So 2 very quick outs, and then a 5-pitch walk to Gonzalez. Walk number 2 allowed by Van Sickle. Josh Tibbs had the 2-run base hit that took the funny hop on Colby Kennedy, who was right there ready to make the play. That made the score 3-0, and TBC came back with 2 in the bottom of the first. So Tibbs 1 for 1 with 2 runs driven in. Runner at first, 2 outs, and the pitch is a fastball upstairs. One ball, no strikes. Van Sickle checks the runner over his back shoulder, turns and fires. Close play, but the runner's back in time. Tibbs has tried to steal 1 time this year, was not successful. Swing and a miss. Onks will throw down with the runner going, and it is in time. Ball came out of Ryan Onk's mitt, but he was able to pick it up. He has a terrific arm and get the put out to end the inning. So the 2-out walk is erased, and Ryan Onks with a huge smile on his face after making a terrific throw. And Trinity Baptist will come to bat in the bottom of the third, trailing 3-2. Bottom of the third coming up. TBC trailing 3-2. E.J. Alvarez, Parker Laffrey, and Colby Kennedy are the scheduled hitters. Alvarez went down on strikes in the first inning. So nothing out of 1. He made a really nice running catch over near the right field foul line just a little while ago. Helped out his pitcher. And now trying to get on base to start a rally for Trinity Baptist. 3-2 Fort Lauderdale. All 5 runs in this game scored in the first inning. Chase Muir will get ready to wind up. The big 6'4" 4-inch right-hander from Enrico, Virginia. Winds and delivers. And a drive down the left field line, but foul. Coach Broden trying to buy that one. I had a slight obstructed view. I'll trust the umpire on that one. No balls and a strike. Alvarez bidding for extra bases. Eric Scott back out there in left field. Good to see that he's all right after crashing into the wall on that fantastic catch 1 inning ago. Alvarez pops this one up over near the fence and out of play. So Alvarez down, no balls, 2 strikes. Muir will take a long, slow walk back behind the mound and get ready to deliver the two-strike pitch. Alvarez followed by Lafferty and Kennedy. Now the big man is ready. No balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, pulled foul. Very similar to the one he had 2 pitches ago. Just 5 games in the majors tonight. The Mets and Marlins are underway in the bottom of the first. White Sox are at Houston. Tell you the West Coast games in just a moment. 3 of those going on. No balls, 2 strikes. E.J. Alvarez trying to get on base to start the inning. And the pitch. In the dirt, the throw will have to go to first, and it is right on target. Brandon Riera with the throw to first. That is strikeout number 4 for Chase Muir. 1 out for Parker Lafferty. Colorado is at San Diego later tonight. Diamondbacks at the Dodgers, and the Cleveland Guardians are in Seattle. That's all the action in the majors tonight. And a pitch. Breaking ball behind Lafferty's head. 1 ball, no strikes. Minor League Baseball starts tonight. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are on the road, and they'll start their home portion of the schedule this coming Tuesday. The 1-0. And that one fouled off. Jumbo Shrimp are at Gwinnett tonight in AAA action. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And a pitch. A breaking ball popped up and out of play. I'm going to start working some of those Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp games next week as one of the scorekeepers. Here's the 1-2, and the pitch is in the dirt. Lafferty started to flinch but held up in time. Trinity Baptist is led by head coach John Copeland in his 9th season. All 9 seasons of TBC Eagles baseball under Coach Copeland. Here's a 2-2 from Muir, a breaking ball that broke a little too late. Count is full after no balls, 2 strikes. Jordan Broden, Stephen Smith, and Cullen Miller are the assistant coaches. And John D. Jones is the athletic director of Trinity Baptist College. 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, and that is out number 2. And it brings up Colby Kennedy. He was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the first, so he got an RBI the hard, painful way. And for Kennedy, that was his 4th RBI of the season. He chops this first pitch foul. So 0-1. Muir in now 2 2/3 innings. 2 runs, both earned. Only a couple of hits, but he has walked 2. He has now struck out 5. He's also hit 2 men. And a pitch on the way, a breaking ball up and in. Count even at 1-1. So TBC took advantage of some free passes in that first inning and turned them into a couple of runs. A ball and a strike to Kennedy. 2 outs, bases empty, and the pitch hit pretty well towards left, but Scott has a beat on it, right back on the warning track and makes the catch. He had that one all the way. Not quite as spectacular as the one he made on Brandon Huang, but still very effective. Made a nice play to track that one down. TBC goes down in order in the 3rd, and after 3, it's 3-2 Fort Lauderdale. 6, 7, and 8 due up for University of Fort Lauderdale in the top of the fourth. Josh Tibbs, Eli Wilhelm, and Brandon Riera, the scheduled hitters. All 5 runs of this game scored in the first inning. Fort Lauderdale got 3 in the top half. TBC got 2 in the bottom half. Will Van Sickle, 3 innings, 3 runs, all earned. 4 hits allowed. He has walked 2, struck out 4. Coming off 2 scoreless innings in which he has allowed just 1 base runner. And a breaking ball in there for a strike. That was a triple by Javier Vargas. Actually 2 base runners, the walk, but then the throw out at second from Ryan Ongst ended the third inning. So Van Sickle faced 3 batters in that inning. Tibbs was at the plate on that last play, so that's why he's leading off here now in the fourth, and he fouls that pitch off, making the count 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. And a breaking ball. Onks thought it was a strike. Started to make a throw towards first, but pitch was called inside. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Van Sickle delivers and misses low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Josh Tibbs 1 for 1, the 2-run single in the first. Again, that made the score 3-0 at the time. Wind has shifted a little bit. Still blowing pretty hard. And a high fly ball. Shallow left center field. 2 men giving chase. That's going to be Parker Lafferty making the catch. So 1 out. Wind is now blowing a little bit more from right field toward the third base dugout. It was going right field toward home plate. Eli Wilhelm at the plate, and he fouls off the first pitch. Wilhelm went down on strikes his first time up. So 0-1. Van Sickle from the stretch takes a long look and delivers. And misses outside. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, base is empty. Top of the fourth, 3-2 Fort Lauderdale. Van Sickle delivers, and a high pop foul that will get out of play. Count is 1-2. This ball's lifted into left, and it's over the head of Huang, who came in first. That's going to allow Wilhelm to pull up into second with a double. Huang, normally a shortstop, appeared to have misjudged the ball. And Fort Lauderdale has a runner at second with 1 out. Toccoa Falls has defeated Carolina University 10-7. Bob Jones trailing Milligan College 11-0. That game's in the 7th inning. First pitch is low and inside. In game 2 of the doubleheader, Carolina leads Toccoa Falls 7-2 in the 5th. So some South Region baseball action going on. In fact, that second look as that pitch is called ball 2. That game between Milligan and Bob Jones is over. Milligan won it 11-0 and leads Bob Jones 1-0 in the top of the first of game 2 of the doubleheader. There's a ground ball. It hits off Van Sickle's glove, and Kennedy will not have a play. Tough break for TBC. That should be scored a base hit. and will put runners at the corners with 1 out. Ball hit off Van Sickle's glove. Hard to tell from this vantage point on top of the third base dugout if the ball would have gone to either Coffin or Kennedy or gone into center field. Kennedy had no chance, but he did keep the ball on the infield and keep the runner at third base. Double play is still in order. Chris Martin is at the plate. First pitch from Van Sickle down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Van Sickle turns, checks the runner at first, and the pitch is low and outside for ball 2. Wilburn Javier Vargas is on deck, and he already has 2 hits, a single and a triple. 2 balls, no strikes. Van Sickle delivers and misses low for ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. Martin taking that one, and it's a breaking ball on the 3-0, and it's in there for strike 1. Van Sickle did not give in just in case Martin had the green light. Count is 3-1. And ball 4 is outside, and Fort Lauderdale has loaded them up. Walk number 3 allowed by Van Sickle. A double, a single, and a walk. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Coach Stephen Smith calls time and walks on out to the mound to talk with his pitcher, catcher, and infield. 3 runs in the first for Fort Lauderdale, 2 in the first for Trinity Baptist, and now Fort Lauderdale threatening. Got the first out on a fly ball to center, but then a misjudged fly ball in left turned into a double. A base hit off Van Sickle's body, and then a walk has loaded them up. Top of the order, Wilbert Javier Vargas at the plate. Singled and scored in the first, tripled in the second, but was left at third base. Van Sickle in a jam, trying to get out of it now. Middle infielders are playing back, looking to turn 2. Corner infielders in on the grass. They'll come home, and the first pitch is fouled off. Javier Vargas did not really give that one a good swing. It looked like he was trying to hold up on the high pitch, but fouled it off. So 1 strike. There's a ground ball over the head of a drawn-in infield, and 2 runs are going to score. Huang misplays the ball. Nobody saw it, and so no further advancement, but the chopper gives Vargas a 2-run single. Both Wilhelm and Riera score, and Fort Lauderdale leads 5-2. Tough break. If Wharton is back, he'll at least have an out. But that ball took a high hop over his head on the drawn-in third baseman. Fortunately, the bobble in left did not lead to any further advancement. So 1 out, 2 runs in. Eric Scott at the plate, squares around, drops down a bunt. Wharton charges, scoops, throws to first, and a ball comes out of Goki's glove, and a run will score. Another man on his way to third. He'll get there without a throw. That's going to be an error charged to first baseman Darren Goki. Chris Martin comes all the way around from second after the ball got away. Vargas goes first to third on the play. And now that's going to be it for Will Van Sickle as Coach Copeland is out to the mound. Second trip of the inning, so Van Sickle is done for the night. 6-2 Fort Lauderdale. We'll be back in just a minute. The new pitcher is Ben Van Sickle, and he will inherit runners at the corners and only one man out. Eric Scott credited with a sacrifice bunt, reached on the error, no run batted in, and that's because Martin had stopped at third and then came in as the ball came out of the glove of Darren Goki. So Goki charged with the error. 3 runs are in. Fort Lauderdale leads 6-2. Adeline Kubaletti now at the plate. Onks giving the first and third signals relayed from the dugout. Ben Van Sickle making his 9th appearance overall. No wins, 1 loss, 7.15 ERA. And his first pitch is lifted high towards right center field. The runner will tag at third. Lafferty makes the catch. The throw to the plate. It is not in time. Gets by Ongst. A run scores. Another run to second. The run is unearned. But it is now 7-2. Fourth run of the inning for Fort Lauderdale. And it brings up Ryan Reifenberg, who drove in a run with a double in the first. That run charged to Will Van Sickle. And Ben Van Sickle trying to end the inning and get this third out. His first pitch is in the dirt, gets by Ongst, and a runner will trot on into third, and he's going to try to score. Ongst flips to the pitcher. It is not in time. That's the 5th run of the inning, an unearned run charged to Will Van Sickle. And it is 8-2. That'll close the book on Will. And 1 ball, no strikes. A wild pitch will be charged to Ben. And the pitch is a fastball a little bit low. Five runs in the inning, 8-2 lead for Fort Lauderdale, and ball 3 is also low. Three balls, no strikes, and the pitch is ball 4, a little bit low. Reifenberg is aboard, and that brings up the 9th man of the inning, so Fort Lauderdale is batted around. Van Sickle charged with 8 runs, 6 of them earned, 7 hits. Yankiel Gonzalez at the plate is 0 for 2. And the first pitch misses upstairs. And Van Sickle has missed with 5 straight. One ball, no strikes. And this one is tapped foul. Gonzalez tried to check but made contact. Count is 1-1. 2 outs with the runner at first and 5 runs in. Van Sickle winds and delivers. And misses low and outside for ball 2. Two balls and a strike. And a runner's going. A swing and a pop-up over near the dugout. Ongst over to give it a look, and it's on top of the dugout and out of play. Counts 2-2. Reifenberg will head on back to first. Reifenberg is 6 for 6 in stolen base attempts. Let's see if he takes off again with a 2-2 count. There's a drive, well hit towards left field. That ball is going to one-hop the fence. Reifenberg motoring around third. The throw to the plate will send the runner back to third. Onks made a good play to keep the ball in front of him and keep that runner at third base. But that is a double for Yankiel Gonzalez. And Fort Lauderdale will have runners at second and third with 2 out. That ball short hopped the fence, hit the warning track, and bounced to the bottom half and almost got over. And now Ryan Onks took that ball and is going to need a moment to regroup. Josh Tibbs started the inning with a harmless fly ball caught in center field. 5 runs are in. The bulk of them scoring after 2 are out. And Sickle from the stretch with runners at second and third delivers and misses inside. One ball, no strikes. And the righty delivers and misses for ball 2. Count of 2 balls, no strikes, 10th batter of the inning. There's a line drive into left, a base hit, 1 run is in. Here's another man rounding third. Throw to the plate is not in time. That's a 2-run single for Josh Tibbs. He has driven in 4, and Fort Lauderdale leads 10-2. Both those runs unearned as well. So that error has led to 4 unearned runs as Fort Lauderdale's put 7 on the board here in the 4th inning. Eli Wilhelm is the 11th man to bat. And time called. Coach Copeland coming out to the mound. And we're likely to see a new pitcher for TBC. And that'll be it for Ben Van Sickle. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back in just a minute. The new pitcher for Trinity Baptist College making his collegiate debut, freshman Derek Hancock from Bozeman High School in Panama City, Florida. Again, his first college pitching experience, and he's going to inherit a runner at first with 2 outs. 7 runs are in. Only 3 of those runs are earned. Will Van Sickle charged with 8 of those runs, 6 earned. Ben Van Sickle, 2 runs, both unearned. So again, that 2-out error, well, the error came with 1 out, but then 4 runs scored after the 2nd out, and that free base really come back to hurt Trinity Baptist. So our first look at right-hander Derek Hancock. Also plays outfield, again, freshman from Bozeman High School in Panama City, making his college debut, and his first batter will be Eli Wilhelm. the 11th man of the inning to bat for Fort Lauderdale. He doubled and scored a run earlier this inning. And the first pitch from Hancock is a fastball upstairs. Wilhelm 1 for 2 with a run scored. One ball, no strikes. Hancock throws to first and almost got the runner. Very close play at first. Top of the fourth, 10-2 Fort Lauderdale, and the pitch is upstairs for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. And Hancock delivers and misses high and tight for ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. Hancock with the pitch, and he gets this one in the zone. Counts 3-1. Hancock from the stretch. The 3-1 on the way. A good swing and a foul straight back, and Wilhelm pulled his head on that one. Well, now with the count 3-2, Tibbs will be off on the pitch. Trinity will have 7, 8, and 9 due up in the bottom of the fourth. Goki, Falco, and Huang. Hancock delivers. There goes Tibbs, and another foul back, and again Wilhelm pulling his head. So Tibbs will head back to first. He'll do it again. Goki now playing behind the runner, getting into position to knock one down and get this final out. There goes Tibbs, and ball 4 puts runners at first and second. So Hancock comes in, walks the first man he faces. And that brings up Brandon Riera. He's 1 for 2. That one was earlier this inning, a base hit. He ended up scoring a run. And Hancock's first pitch, called a strike at the top of the zone. Nothing in 1. Hancock checks that runner at second and delivers and gets a high fly ball that's slicing out of play and into the Fort Lauderdale bullpen. So no balls, 2 strikes. TBC will have to rally and rally big. No balls, 2 strikes. Hancock from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Hancock gets his first college walk, but then his first college strikeout. And that ends the inning. However, for Fort Lauderdale, 7 runs in the top of the fourth. We head to the bottom half with Trinity coming to bat trailing 10-2. Chase Muir had a long layoff while his offense put 7 runs on the board in the 4th. Bottom half of the 4th, 10-2 in favor of Fort Lauderdale. TBC will have Goki, Falco, and Huang, the scheduled hitters. Chase Muir, 3 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 hit batsmen, and 5 strikeouts. Goki is one of those 5 strikeout victims. That came in his first at-bat in the first inning when TBC sent 8 men to the plate and scored 2 of them. So Goki digs in to try to start a rally. Muir's first pitch is just a bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Wind has calmed down almost completely. And a pitch on the way, misses up and away, and that's ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. And Muir winds and delivers. And misses low and outside for ball 3. Carolina University leads Toccoa Falls 7-2 in the top of the 5th. Milligan 1-0 over Bob Jones. No update since the first inning. And a 4-pitch walk puts Darren Goki aboard. Third walk allowed by Chase Muir. So TBC has a runner at first. Nobody out for R.J. Falco, who went down on strikes to end the first inning. Falco at the plate. Now 2 for 6 on the season. A lot of room down the right field line for the left-hand hitter. Muir's first pitch is popped up and out of play. TBC Eagles not giving up, cheering on their friend and teammate Falco at the plate. Trying to get a rally started. Action in the Fort Lauderdale bullpen. 2 men throwing. Can't quite see who they are. This one misses upstairs. Actually, 3 men throwing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Goki leads off first, not going anywhere, down by 8. And the pitch is a breaking ball that's a little bit high. Two balls and a strike to Falco. And that one is fouled off. Good swing by Falco, but a little bit late on the fastball. I forgot that we put a third mound out there in the visitors' bullpen. The field behind right field is now game ready, and Trinity Christian Academy JV uses that field quite a bit. So they added an extra mound out there to help the pitchers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way. A late call, and Falco is out. He did not like that call one bit. He thought the pitch was outside. That is out number 1, and again, a very late call by the home plate umpire. So 1 out with the runner at first. Brandon Huang at the plate. Robbed of extra bases by Eric Scott. That was the running catch in which Scott crashed into the 320 sign. Huang almost got one out of here. And the pitch is a breaking ball in there for a strike. We're in the twilight right now where the lights really don't help a whole lot, and the sun is going down, so it's a little difficult to see the ball. No balls and a strike to Huang, and he takes a terrific breaking ball for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And Huang fouls this one back. 10 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Fort Lauderdale. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 very costly error for Trinity Baptist. No balls, 2 strikes to Huang. And swing and a miss at a sinker, and that's out number 2. Strikeout number 7 for Chase Muir. He averages nearly 2 strikeouts per inning. He has 7 in less than 4 innings now, so he's right about at his average. Sammy Coffrin has walked and scored and grounded to second. First pitch to Coffrin, another breaking ball for a strike. Nothing in 1 to Coffrin. And a fastball's upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Muir delivers, and another beauty. That looked like a slider from up here. Coffrin over the top of it. It's 1-2. Marlins got a run and lead the Mets 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th in Miami. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Coffrin, and this one is low and inside. Good old Aaron Judge hit the second pitch he saw yesterday in the season opener for a home run. I wonder if he can get 63 this year. And Coffrin takes one in the back of the shoulder, and he's on base. That's a third man that Chase Muir has hit. Eagles of Trinity Baptist have 2 men on, but there are 2 out. Ryan Ongst at the plate. He's been hit by a pitch. Dylan Owens, a courtesy runner, scored a run, and Ongst walked his second time up. RBI opportunity for Rhino. Came in hitting .492. And first pitch is low for ball 1. RBI opportunity for Ongst. He has 11 ribbies on the season. A lot of room down the right field line. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch is on the outer half of the plate for strike 1. Outfield playing the left-hand hitter the other way. Again, they're giving him all the room he wants down the right field line. Reifenberg is about 100 feet off that line. He is past where second and third base line up. But Ongst down, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Checked his swing, and no swing, says the base umpire. And the count is 2-2. Good block by Riera to keep the runners at first and second. It's Darren Goki at second. It is Sammy Coffrin at first. And ball 3 to Ongst is outside. Goki drew the walk to start the inning. And 2 outs later, Coffrin was hit in the back of the shoulder. Tried to spin out of the way. Darren Goki now at third base. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Coffrin will be off on the pitch. There he goes. And Ongst able to hold up in time and draw the walk. So Goki already at third, Coffrin at second. Ongst on base for the 3rd time without an official at bat. 2 walks and a hit batsman. Timeout. Coach Billy Glessner out there on the mound. Really only the second time that Muir's been in trouble. Allowed 2 runs in the first, and he had cruised through the second and the third, and now has the bases loaded in the fourth, but he does have 2 outs. Josh Wharton a chance to drive in a couple of runs. Muir will work from the stretch with the bases loaded and get the first pitch in there for a strike. No balls and a strike, and Wharton swings over the top of a low pitch, and he's down 0-2. Goki credited with a stolen base on that advance to third a little while ago. Bases are loaded, 2 outs, and 2 strikes on Josh Wharton. And the pitch is fouled off. So 0-2. Goki had advanced to third when he thought ball 4 was actually ball 3, but he just trotted on into third and nobody paid attention to him. So that's a stolen base. Wharton takes ball 1 on a very close pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dylan Owens, a courtesy runner at first. Coffrin at second. Goki at third, and the pitch. And this one fouled right off the batter. Count remains 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. TBC trying to get on the board. 10-2, Fort Lauderdale leads in the fourth. Chase Muir from the stretch delivers and misses outside. That's ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes to Wharton. Clutch situation for the Trinity third baseman. Swing and a miss. A little late on the fastball, and that ends the inning. TBC loads the bases with 2 outs, but does not score. And after 4, it's 10-2 Fort Lauderdale. Derek Hancock will get his first start to an inning. He has 1/3 of an inning pitched, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, no runs allowed. 10-2, Fort Lauderdale leads as they bat in the top of the 5th. And Hancock's first pitch is upstairs. Hancock will wind up with the bases empty. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch is in there for the strike. Chris Martin, the third baseman, at the plate. 0 for 1, but last time up in that big 4th inning, he drew a walk and ended up scoring. Fort Lauderdale put 7 on the board in the 4th inning. Hancock's pitch is a little bit outside. Two balls and a strike. Hancock takes a long time. Time was called, so he had to step off and back on the mound and delivers a nice curveball on the inside corner. Martin appeared to disagree, but the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Derek Hancock looks over the glove, winds and delivers a 2-2, and this one is fouled off. Count remains 2-2. Number 9 hitter in the batting order, followed by Javier Vargas and Eric Scott. Here's a 2-2, a breaking ball a little bit high, and that fills up the count. Tough to tell from up here, is right at the top of the zone. Home plate umpire said a little too high. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, and Hancock winds and delivers. Fastball popped up and out of play. Chris Martin making Derek Hancock work to start this 5th inning. Long look in by the right-hander. Now winds and delivers. And ball 4 is down low, so Martin draws the walk. Fouled off a couple of pitches with 2 strikes. Ended up with the free pass. Walk number 2 allowed by Derek Hancock. Wilbert Javier Vargas at the plate. He has 3 hits, 2 runs, and 2 driven in. One of those 3 hits, a 3-bagger. Hancock from the stretch and got underneath the fastball and put it up high. 1 ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 on the way is inside for ball 2. Chris Martin, 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts. Getting a decent lead off first. Gets a good secondary, and the pitch to Javier Vargas. Onks thought it was a strike. Umpire said it missed. That's ball 2. Onks turning around asking where that pitch was. Actually, that's ball 3. So 3-0, and that one's in the zone. Three balls and a strike. Good lead off first now by Martin, and this one is popped up right side of the infield. Drifting foul. Goki will make the catch. So 1 out with the runner at first for Eric Scott. Scott reached on an error credited with a sacrifice bunt in the 4th, and that opened the door for 4 more runs. He's 0 for 2 officially. He also ended up scoring one of those runs. And he takes the first pitch for a strike. Scott earlier in the game made one of the best defensive plays we've seen on this field all season long. No balls and a strike, and he takes one low and outside. Actually, I did not notice this is a pinch hitter for Eric Scott. This is Justin Martinez. And this one is in the dirt. So Justin Martinez ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Hitting 196 on the season, and he swings at a high fastball. Might have chased one up over the letters, and it's 2-2. No homers, 3 runs driven in. He is 9 for 46 with a double on the season. Two balls, 2 strikes. Hancock delivers. Runners going. Swing and a miss for strike 3. To throw down is high and a little bit late. That is a stolen base for Chris Martin, his 4th of the year. But Hancock does get the strikeout. There are 2 away with the runner at second. Adeline Kubaletti at the plate. 0 for 2, but a walk and a run scored in the first. So the runner's at second. However, there are 2 outs. Hancock is now walk 2 and fan 2. And he gets this pitch outside. One ball, no strikes. Hancock taking his time, looking in, and delivers a 1-0 fastball that's high for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Check of the runner, now the pitch, and a high pop foul to the right side and out of play. There's still some relievers standing up in the Fort Lauderdale bullpen. I don't see anyone actually throwing right now. Of course, Muir needs to pitch 1 more inning to qualify for the win. This is a 9-inning game. The 2-1 is a breaking ball. That one nearly slipped out of Hancock's hand, and that's ball 3. Three balls and a strike, 2 outs with the runner at second. And strike 2 is called. Kubaletti had started to step towards first, thinking he had drawn the walk. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Chris Martin at second, a walk and a stolen base. And the payoff pitch is drilled into right field. Alvarez coming on in, and he will not get there, and it gets by, and a run will score. Kubaletti on his way to second. He will beat the throw for an RBI double, and Fort Lauderdale leads now 11-2. Alvarez had come in, tried to make the shoestring catch, but the ball hit the ground and squirted over his glove. And that leadoff walk has come in to score. So 11-2 with Ryan Reifenberg at the plate. He has scored 2 of those 11 runs and driven in another. Hancock with the pitch and gets the strike. First run allowed by Derek Hancock. First hit allowed as well. 1 strike pitch on the way and is fouled back. Reifenberg is 1 for 2. That RBI double came in the first inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Hancock from the stretch and misses low and outside. Count is 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. A turn and a look, but no throw. Marlins and Mets 1-0, now in the bottom of the 5th. Marlins at home against the Mets, who are without their closer, Edwin Diaz. Here is a ground ball into right field, a base hit. Alvarez comes up firing, the throw to the plate. It is not in time. A runner on his way to second. He will beat the throw. So Reifenberg drives in his second run. That is a single and takes second on the throw. Kubaletti comes around to score, and it's a 10-run lead for the University of Fort Lauderdale. Yanquiel Gonzalez waiting to take his hacks. He has a runner at second, 2 out. Last time up, doubled and scored a run. 1 for 3. Fort Lauderdale, a very high-scoring offense. And we're going to have ourselves a timeout as Coach Copeland heads out to the mound, and that may be it for Derek Hancock. And we're going to pause right here, and we'll be back in just a minute. Mike Davis takes over on the mound for Trinity Baptist, making his 5th appearance all in relief. In his first 4, he's totaled 5 hits, 6 hits, 9 runs, 6 of those earned, 5 walks and 2 strikeouts. He will inherit the runner at second with 2 outs and Yanquiel Gonzalez at the plate. So Mike Davis, the 4th man to pitch tonight for Trinity Baptist. 12-2 now as Fort Lauderdale bats in the 5th with 2 outs. And Gonzalez steps back into the box. Kind of glides into the box, actually. So Davis will check that runner and work on Gonzalez. The first pitch, slide step, line drive towards right. Alvarez on the run, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Well, Davis gets his man on 1 pitch, but Fort Lauderdale adds 2 more On a couple of hits and a walk, and we go to the bottom of the fifth. It's 12-2 Fort Lauderdale. Top of the sixth, Fort Lauderdale 12, Trinity Baptist 2, and hitters 6, 7, 8 are due up. Barring any changes, that would be Josh Tibbs, Eli Wilhelm, and Brandon Riera. Mike Davis was able to get the only man he faced to end the fifth on one pitch, a line drive caught by Alvarez in right. Josh Tibbs does have a bat in his hand, and he's walking up to the plate. He has driven in 4 runs. He had a 2-run single in the first, flew out in the fourth, and then got another 2-run single later in that fourth inning. Fort Lauderdale batted 12 men in that 7-run fourth inning. And the first pitch from Davis is up and in for ball 1. Mike Davis ready. 1 ball, no strikes, and a pitch, swing, and a miss. Davis will certainly not overpower anybody, but he changes speeds very well. Junior from Baker County High School in McClenny. The 1-1, and that one's on the outside corner. I remember meeting Mike when Baker County was here to play Trinity Christian Academy, and I was doing that ball game, and Mike came up, said hello, told me he just signed with Trinity Baptist, joined me on the broadcast, and did a really nice job as a color commentator. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one just a little bit off the outside corner. And here's a 2-2, and this one is in the dirt. That's ball 3. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball got a piece of the home plate umpire, so they're going to pause for a moment, make sure he's okay. Coach Glessner coming down the line, making sure the umpire's all right. Also having a word with his batter. Ryan Ongstein out to the mound. Have a chat with Davis. Very likely a courtesy to the umpire. Carolina has added another run in the bottom of the 6th, leading Toccoa Falls 15-10. If Carolina wins, that would be a split of the doubleheader. Toccoa Falls won that game 10-7 earlier today. Toccoa Falls is coming here later in April for a 3-game series against Trinity Baptist. We will not play Carolina in the regular season, but could meet up with them in the South Region Tournament. Same with Bob Jones. No regular season games scheduled with the Bruins, but very well could meet up. That South Region Tournament is right here at Trinity Ball-Yard. Right now is scheduled from May 8th through 11th. Of course, that depends on how many teams end up participating and what kind of a game schedule will be required. Ready to play, and 3-2 is grounded towards Wharton. He backhands, and throw to first is low and gets by Goki. And Tibbs is on his way to second. That'll be an error on the third baseman. After the pick, he had time to make the throw, but put it in the dirt. That's an error all the way. It's only the second error for TBC, but the leadoff man is now at second base. Eli Wilhelm steps in. Walked his last time up. He is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Got a double in the 4th. So Tibbs at second, and the pitch is in there for a strike. No balls and a strike. And Davis delivers in a high fly ball to center field. Laffrey will make the catch. And the runner will hold. So 1 out. Ball gets by Davis on the throw back to the mound. Fortunately, not far enough for an advancement. Brandon Riera at the plate. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Davis checks the runner, delivers a fastball a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. I'm going to keep checking on that Toccoa Carolina game. That's been a slugfest. High fly ball to center. Lafferty now has to come in, and he will make the catch. The wind knocked that ball down. Lafferty was camped under it, but then had to suddenly take a few more steps in toward the infield. Toccoa Falls is now batting in the 7th, trailing 15-10 at Carolina University. This is Chris Martin at the plate. He has scored twice, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. Both times he scored, he reached on walks. Nothing out of 1 officially, and he fouls this one off. Down in the count, 0-2. A leadoff 2-base error followed by a pair of fly balls caught in center. That's your inning summary. Trinity Baptist will have Falco, Huang, and Coffrin due up, barring any changes. That's 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order. 2-strike pitch from Davis, misses up and in. In fact, that ball looked like it went behind the hitter. I have twice, I am not kidding, seen a pitch thrown behind the hitter called strike 3. Once in Little League and once in high school, if you can believe that. Here's a 1-2 and a high pop-up. Coffrin and Goki both calling for it, and it'll be Goki right on top of the foul line. And that retires a side. Well, the error does not hurt because Davis gets 3 straight fly balls to end the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Eagles come to bat. TBC Eagles, that is, trailing 12-2. Bottom of the 6th, Trinity Baptist coming to the plate, trailing 12-2. They will face a new pitcher. Now pitching for Fort Lauderdale, sophomore Javier Lopez from Riverview, Florida. Chase Muir did a really nice job in his 5 innings of work. Just 2 runs, both earned. 3 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. He also hit 3 men and threw 1 wild pitch. Caden Reeves will pinch hit for R.J. Falco. And we're about to see our first pitch from right-hander Javier Lopez. And Lopez steps off the mound. Thank you, Javier. Give me a chance to check on your numbers. No record, his 5th appearance, all in relief. 4 2/3 innings. 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And his first pitch to Caden Reeves is a fastball for a strike. Reeves is hitting 200, 2 for 10 on the season with a pair of RBIs. And he takes strike 2. And Reeves down on 3 pitches, and that's out number 1. Brandon Huang at the plate. Flat out to left and struck out. He's the one who was robbed by Eric Scott in the left field corner. And he pulls the first pitch hard but foul down to third baseline. No balls and a strike. 1 out, base is empty. Trinity batting in the bottom of the 6th, trailing 12-2. And Huang swings and fouls this one off. No balls, 2 strikes. Javier Lopez fanned the first man he faced. In fact, all 5 pitches he have thrown have been for strikes. And make that 6. The ball hits the ground. The throw will go to first and gets away, and Huang will be there. Now that's going to be counted as a strikeout and an error on the catcher, allowing Huang to reach. So a runner at first. 1 out, top of the order, Sammy Coffrin. He has walked, been hit by a pitch, scored a run, and grounded to second. So he's 0 for 2. Actually 0 for 1 with a run scored. Huang, good lead off first, not going anywhere with a 10-run deficit. And Lopez's first pitch that misses the strike zone. So again, credit Lopez and Huang with strikeouts, and Huang reaching on the throwing error from the catcher. The 1-0 in the zone. Riera thought about making the throw to first. With a 10-run lead, though, just focus on the batter. A ball and a strike to Coffrin, and the pitch. This one's grounded towards short, could be 2. A flip to second for 1, to throw to first. Dug out of the dirt, and a double play retires a side. 6-4-3 DP. Eagles get an error but do not score. Only 3 batters in the inning, and after 6, it is 12-2 Fort Lauderdale. Mike Davis back out there for his second full inning of work. 1 1/3 innings so far. The only base runner reached on an error, so no hits allowed. And his first pitch of the inning is grounded into left field. That's a base hit. And that is Wilbert Javier Vargas doing the honors for Fort Lauderdale. 1 pitch, 1 hit, 1 base runner. Justin Martinez, who is in right, pinch hit for Eric Scott in the 5th, stayed in the ball game. went down on strikes in his only plate appearance so far. So a runner at first, one out, or no outs, and the pitch, and that one is low and outside. Javier Vargas at first base, 13 for 15 in steals, and a high pop-up. Sammy Coffrin on the infield dirt makes the catch, one away. Adeline Kubaletti, the scheduled hitter. Barring any changes after Kubaletti would be Reifenberg and Gonzalez, should the inning go that far. And Kubaletti at the plate drove in a run with a double his last time up. He has scored twice as well. 1 for 3. Drew a walk in the first. And a pitch, and this one is upstairs. Well, with a 10-run lead, Wilbert Javier Vargas not likely to go. Not out of the realm of possibility, however. And Davis delivers and gets this one in the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kubaletti. Davis checks that runner and delivers. A slide step, swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Foul tip, actually, and it got the better of Ryan Ungst. Boy, imagine if the catcher and the umpire did not wear all that protective gear. Thank God somebody way back when had the foresight to come up with that idea. A ball and 2 strikes. And a high fly ball to center. Lafferty charging in. Camps under it and makes the catch. There was a time in the late 1800s when catchers did not wear that gear, not even a mask. I guess somebody took a few to the face and figured out a way to protect himself. Davis has 2 outs and a runner at first. There one is drilled towards center field. Lafferty runs that one down in the gap and makes a very nice running catch. Well, the leadoff hit, but then 2 pop-ups and a really nice play by Lafferty in center field. So Fort Lauderdale, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Eagles need to score a run to potentially keep this one going. Senior Caleb Rodriguez takes over on the mound for Fort Lauderdale. He's from Huntsville, Alabama, and a transfer student from Valdosta State University, a Division II program. And he will work the 7th inning. His fourth appearance, all in relief, 4 2/3 innings so far. And his first pitch to Ryan Ongst, a hard ground ball, one hopper to second, and Kubaletti makes a low throw, but Tibbs with another dig, and one pitch, one out. Rodriguez has allowed 11 hits in 4 2/3 innings, 8 runs, 5 of those earned. He has walked 2 and struck out 4. Ongst hit that ball right on the button, but unfortunately right at Kubaletti, who fielded the one hop very cleanly. And Wharton at the plate, and this one is down low. 1 ball and no strikes. 9-inning game, but 10-run rule after 7 may be in effect. That's not always a guarantee. Wharton swings through that one, 1 ball and 1 strike. These two teams will play 2 tomorrow. Again, in case you missed it, 11 a.m. start time. And Rodriguez, wasting no time whatsoever, gets strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. And the submarine breaking ball got Josh Wharton. 2 outs. E.J. Alvarez 0 for 3. Well, in case this is it for TBC, we want to thank everybody for joining us here on the TBC Eagles Sports Network. I'm Ray Bureau. And the first pitch to Alvarez is fouled off. We do plan to bring you both games tomorrow, 11 a.m. start time here at Trinity Ball Yard. No balls and a strike, and Alvarez fouls this one off. He's down 0-2. Of course, both ball games tomorrow scheduled for 7 innings. Two-strike pitch from Rodriguez. High fly ball to left. Coming in to make the catch. That's Justin Martinez. Check that, Ryan Reifenberg, who started in right, moved over to left. And that is the ball. And 3 in South Region play. TBC 9-16 and now 0-4, and all 4 of those losses have come to the University of Fort Lauderdale. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., that's when we'll be back. We'll start the live feed a few minutes before game time. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here on the TBC Eagles Sports Network. For Coach John Copeland, Athletic Director John D. Jones, and all of us here at TBC, I'm Ray Bureau saying God bless you from Trinity Baptist College.